for more on Harris's race to the White House, here with us now is former South Carolina Republican Congressman Bob Inglis. Congressman, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning. Good to be with you.
I have to ask, at what moment did you decide, a lifelong Republican, that you're going to support Harris? Was it a policy or a moment from Trump that may have changed your mind?
Not so much a moment. It's just really two things. You know, I'm like you say, a Republican who just can't vote for Donald Trump for two reasons. One, character, and the other is rationality. You know, character, this guy, Donald Trump, is a guy who has been unfaithful to not one, not two, but three wives. And now we're sort of the fourth. And we're at the altar with him, and we're hearing his statements of devotion to us. And could we possibly believe those? I mean, that's who he is. He's just a very flawed character who is actually, I think, pretty sick puppy. Needs some real help. I mean, I think he's a narcissist who can think only of himself. And so character is where he fails. He also fails on rationality. You know, that we need people who can look at facts, make decisions based on true facts and not alternate facts, and really take into account truth. But I think that maybe it's that he's 78, headed to 80. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's a processing issue. But it seems to be getting worse, that he just can't quite deal with rationality. And we really need a president who's rational.
When it comes to the Republican Party, you have said you wanted to return back to its Reagan roots. I know some Democrats who agree with you there. You and some other Republicans are voting for Harris. You've made that clear come November. How do you see that helping the Republican Party do just that?
Well, I think we could start a Republican rethink. We've really gone on the wrong path here. You know, true north is toward small governments that are very efficient, very effective, that rely on free enterprise, that balance budgets, and that engage in the world in a way that's responsible. That's what we need as a Republican Party. The country needs that party. But we've been on a path with Donald Trump that says really nutty stuff that doesn't make sense about people eating dogs and cats and things just made up. You know, Donald Trump seems to just make up numbers that suit him. They're not real numbers. They're not real policies. He doesn't, for example, have but a concept about health care. I mean, really, Republicans, we need to have a real plan about how to deal with healthcare in America. And so it really is that he's failing on all these points, mostly character and mostly rationality. And I think the difference with Kamala Harris is this is a person who actually appears to be quite rational, in control of her faculties. Maybe it's because she's younger. Maybe it's because she really isn't self-possessed and sort of self-centered. She does think about other people, apparently. And I think the proof of that, Hena, is that it's taken her so long to talk about herself.
Sure.
You know, it's only after she became the nominee, frankly, that people like me learned things about her. I never knew about her mother and her father, and I never knew that story, because she doesn't talk much about herself.
With that said, Congressman, some people are saying she is a little vague when it comes to certain policies. What do you think she needs to do to win over moderate Republicans, especially in those deep red states in our country?
Well, one place she could be firmer on is immigration. I think what she needs to do is simply say what she said before, but I think she needs to put it at the top. She needs to say, what would I do on immigration? I'd get with Senator Jim Lankford of Oklahoma, and I'd get that bill going again, the one that Donald Trump called on the Republicans to kill, the one that Jim Lankford, a Republican, a conservative, a very conservative guy from Oklahoma, had worked very hard to develop some consensus with Democrats on fixing the border. And so I think she should start with that. Rather, I heard her the other day on the Oprah engagement say that she started out with prosecutor, and that's all fine. But she really needs to just go right to it and say, Jim Lankford did some real work on that. And it's proof that I, a Democrat, she could say, am happy to work with Republicans on rational solutions to this problem we have, and it is a problem at the border. Because if we get control of that border, what a lot of research shows is that then people feel more comfortable with being a nation of immigrants.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.